because of their own not treating the East Pakistanis properly, especially the women folk. Very big atrocities. I will talk to you later on if you're interested. Otherwise, the every human being other than Pakistani soldiers were totally against them.
Right.
Totally. So when we entered the villages, very few people were there. At least the initials, I can say 40-50 kilometers. Everybody has ran to the India. They have left their houses open, poor people. But then that is how it was. Whosoever is left, they used to welcome us. कि आ जाओ भाई.
नमस्कार दोस्तों और जय हिंद। आप सभी को स्वागत है इन माय चैनल 1971 वॉर बुक सीरीज। तो दोस्तों, भारतीय फौज का जो ऑपरेशन इन बांग्लादेश में था, उसका एक बहुत ही अननोन एंड इंपॉर्टेंट ऑपरेशनल पार्ट वाज इन द नॉर्थ बंगाल एरिया ऑफ ईस्ट पाकिस्तान, प्रेजेंट डे बांग्लादेश। उस जगह पे जितने सारे भारतीय फौज के मिलिट्री ऑपरेशंस थे, पीपल डोंट नो मच अबाउट देम बिकॉज दैट वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ द इंडियन आर्मीज 33rd कोर। द 20 माउंटेन डिवीजन वाज ऑलरेडी एंगेज्ड विद द पाकिस्तानी फोर्सेस इन द हिली सेक्टर। लेकिन उसके भी ऊपर में एक इंडिपेंडेंट माउंटेन ब्रिगेड वाज ऑपरेटिंग, द 71 माउंटेन ब्रिगेड। उसके अंडर था द 21 राजपूत रेजिमेंट। In the Bangladesh Liberation War of 1971, the 21 Rajput regiment was awarded the Battle Honour Khansama before they advanced up to the Saidpur cantonment and took the surrender of the Pakistani forces there. तो आज हम 21 राजपूत रेजिमेंट से एक वेटरन के साथ बात करेंगे। कमीशन इन द 21 राजपूत, बट लेटर ही शिफ्टेड टू द EAME और उसके साथ he has made immense contributions in the field of rainwater harvesting and he is still very much active into this. So let's not waste any more time and let's welcome Colonel Shashikant Dalvi to our program today. I would like to have a basic introduction of you, Colonel sir.
Okay.
Could you talk a bit about your family background and why you were motivated to join the Indian Army?
Okay, fine. Now, good evening, friends. Now I am Colonel Shashikant Dalvi, retired. Basically, I am from place known as Kolhapur, a small town in Maharashtra, close to Pune, and I am from a middle class background. And when I completed in those days what we used to call the inter-science, after 11th class we used to join the college.
Okay.
Now it is 10th, 12th and you go for the further. But in those days, if you may ask your parents also, they will tell you that 11th was the matric certification, and then you go to colleges. So I did my college education, entire education for that matter, and and the diploma. I passed out diploma mechanical engineering, and that is the time when we received. I saw the advertisement. Like all my friends told me, "यार एक advertisement आई है where the diploma holders are also permitted to join army as a short service commission officers."
Okay.
So just out of just curiosity, there was nothing. I was not at all knowing. Nobody from family background has ever joined the defense forces. Few of our college seniors, they had joined emergency commissions, so they used to come on leave, etc. So we used to have interaction with them. That's all. That was a closeness. So with that, I passed out. I joined we got selected for the short service 8th course, and those days it was a non-technical course.
Okay.
Later on, technical courses also started coming in, where they admitted short service, technical, graduate people in the be mechanical, be electrical, whatever.
It was because
students.
Engineering background, mechanical engineering background. Right, sir?
Yeah, for me it was diploma. They didn't consider giving me any technical branch that time. Reasons best known to them. Because once you get the passing out, immediately after passing out, you get the orders, wherever you are posted.
Okay.
So I was posted in Infantry 21 Rajput. So okay, fair enough.
And
So
this was, sir,
that
after
is
your
how.
OTA, or you were commissioned through the IMA?
No, I was commissioned through. Then it was called as OTS, Officer Training School. Later on, after some many years, it became Officer Training Academy.
And sir, it was 1 year or 2 or 3 years course? Like,
It is still 10 months course.
okay.
So that is how once you become a permanent commissioned officers, at least those batches which did 10 months courses, we lose 1 year, 2 months seniority,
Okay.
because then IMA courses which pass out, they do 2 months, 2 years training. So we have to bring in and depart with them. So we used to lose seniority. But that once you become a permanent commission officer.
So, sir, you are a second lieutenant commissioned in the 21st Rajput.
Yeah, correct. Second lieutenant commissioned in 21 Rajput. In those days, our Paltan was in NIFA, then Northeast Frontier Agency. Now it is Arunachal Pradesh. It's a place known as Kain. It was a 2 mountain div, 5 mountain brigade.
Okay.
I was posted there.
Okay. So, as you said before, you saw some action in the counterinsurgency operations, I guess.
Yeah, but that was once we moved to Nagaland.
Okay.
This was only in Nifa, and Nifa was quiet place. It is not. There was nothing happening there. Happening means we were facing the Chinese border.
Okay.
So we used to go on a long range patrolling towards the China border, to be in a places, be in a passes. That's all. And from there, we moved to the Paltan moved to Nagaland. That is the 8th Mountain Division, in the 70 part of a 71 Mountain Brigade.
Okay.
And there we moved in, say early 71. We moved there.
Okay. So, in as far as I know, sir, as far as I've heard of 8th Mountain Division in 1971, it was in the Sylhet side. So, your battalion was in the North Bengal.
No. It was not on Sylhet side. It was permanently, in those days, it was in Nagaland, because Nagaland was facing huge insurgencies. So it was at the place known as Kohima. At Kohima, the div headquarters was there.
Okay.
So it was in Nagaland, not in Sylhet.
No, I'm
No,
talking
sir.
about the operations, Bangladesh operations जब शुरू हुआ तब
No, I have not reached Bangladesh operation. We are still in Nagaland.
okay.
So we reached Nagaland in the early 1971.
Okay.
Why I am quoting the Nagaland for that, like I was mentioning to you earlier, is at least as far as me and our young officers, our friends were concerned, it was baptism, because our Paltan was a new Paltan. Late 1965, it was raised. So after that, there was no operational activities as such. Nagaland was not the operational activities, but it was the operations in the internal security.
Internal security.
It's a part of India, so it was internal security action there. But what used to happen there, Dasgupta, is the Naga insurgents used to fire. They used to fire on the convoys, big convoys, well protected convoys, traveling from Imphal all the way to Dimapur, traveling entire length of the Nagaland. And also they used to fire on our posts, like our company post. I was Charlie company. I was in the Charlie company. So our post was at place known as Shankhomai.
Okay.
Now earlier somebody else was there, so we took over from them, and we have to protect it and all those things. That's all right. They used to fire in a night time, etc. They used to fire, and our company was given 7 villages under us to ensure that no Naga insurgent activities take place, or nobody becomes Naga insurgent.
Okay.
So we used to ensure, we used to go there regularly, travel from our location to 4 or 5 hours march is to be there. We go there and interact with them, stay with them for a night or so. They should feel that it is our army. It is Indian army, and they are part of India. What they used to think it is, what they used to tell is, "Saab, आप India army का है, तो मैंने बोला तू कहाँ का है?" This means they still were that as long as the Naga insurgents were concerned, they should tell them that we are separate. We are not part of India. But then it took some time to, so we used to ensure that we are part of them. Absolutely part of them.
Okay. So coming to sir 1971, 25th of March
हाँ जी.
1971 से I think ईस्ट पाकिस्तान में हल्ला होना शुरू हो गया. I mean Operation Searchlight was started by Pakistan Army and Bengalis were being killed. Refugees started coming in. So
Yeah.
where was your battalion at that time, sir? It was still in Nagaland?
Yeah. We were in at the beginning of the operations. We were in Nagaland. Means there was nothing. How big it will be, we were not aware. This everything is need to know basis.
Okay.
There were no mobiles. There were no newspapers. No newspapers. You will find the information started coming in. Only information we started getting was there is unrest in East Pakistan,
Okay.
and the refugees were entering India in large number. So we used to hear on the radio sets or newspapers that large number of refugees have entered the Assam from all the sides, and then the country was taking care of them. Naturally, they have to be given food, shelter, and how long they will stay, we were not sure.
Okay.
So that was the beginning. That was the beginning of the, and then we got the call to move for the operations from our brigade headquarters, that is 71 Mountain Brigade, then commanded by Brigadier P.N. Katpalia, and our battalion was commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Aman Singh Ahlawat.
Okay.
And so we moved out in sometime before Diwali. So if I'm not wrong, we moved out from Nagaland, handed over the entire, arms, ammunition, whatever it was there to of the post. We handed out everything to Assam Rifles, and then we moved downwards down to the railway station at Dimapur.
Okay.
And from Dimapur through special trains we moved to Siliguri.
Okay.
So Diwali of 1971 we celebrated at the railway stations, on the Siliguri railway stations only,
Okay.
because we were inside the compartment. The railway was there, that special train, we have everything was there, so cooking was done, and the railway had provided some sites to us, and then everything was done there. We were waiting. What are the further orders for us? Where are we going to go?
So, sir, I had another question. Siliguri,
हाँ
I
जी.
think it is the place of the 33rd Corps. General Thapan was the corps commander. The 20
Yes,
Mountain
that
Dew
time
was
the
there.
Thapan was PM Thapan was the corps commander.
Right, sir. So 20 Mountain Dew was there, and I think the 71 Mountain Brigade was there. And you are part of the 71 Mountain Brigade.
No. I'll tell you. I'll clarify everything to you.
Okay.
8 Mountain Dew moved from Nagaland, okay,
Okay.
for 71 operation.
Achha.
Now, if we 8 Mountain Dew, normally Mountain Dew have got 3 to 4 brigades at the most. But in those days, because of the insurgency operations in Nagaland, 8 Mountain Dew had 8 infantry brigades, mountain brigades, as a matter of fact,
Okay.
because we were in the mountainous terrain in Nagaland. So we moved there. 71 Mountain Brigade then became Independent Mountain Brigade Group,
Achha.
and we moved from Siliguri. We entered the East Pakistan border.
Okay.
That was a route given to us. We were from there. We to go towards the Panchagarh and then like that to Saidpur and whatever small villages are there in en route.
Okay, sir. So before coming up to the operations, I would like to go
Haji,
a bit for. I mean, before the operations. So
Haji.
Diwali of for your battalion and for you, sir. I think you were a lieutenant by
Yeah,
now.
yeah. No. I was still
Second
second lieutenant.
lieutenant. Okay.
We were 9 second lieutenants in Paltan,
Okay.
and there were few lieutenants and captains. So there was nothing, no promotions so early.
Okay. So, sir, did you train any Mukti Bahini fighters? Did you take part in training them?
No, no. It the Paltan was living and it never took part in such operations. The battalions never trained Mukti Bahini.
Okay.
The Mukti Bahini camps were established in India. Right, what we heard later on was right up to Chennai. In the Chennai area also there were camps. But the people went, the officers cadre went from various battalions who could speak fluently Bengali.
Acha, acha.
So whatever two officers we had we have got only one officer, Captain Chatterjee. So he went from Paltan to, he was on deputation to them. He went there.
Okay.
Like this, from various battalions, those Bengali speaking officers were picked up. Whether it's a Major Saab, Lieutenant Saab, Captain Saab, they were picked up and went there to train the Mukti Bahini people.
Okay. So, November, coming up to, sir, the last 2 weeks of November 1971.
Haji,
How was the preparation of
Haji.
your battalion, sir? The 21 Rajput.
Yeah, 21 Rajput preparations, there was nothing preparation because we were not knowing where to go firstly.
Okay.
So we entered immediately after Diwali. I don't have dates. My memory is becoming slightly poor in a sense. We entered the Bangladesh. We crossed the East Pakistan border, that is the international border in those days, much earlier. It must be in the say about 10th or 12th of November.
Okay.
We crossed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's much earlier because by the time, if I can say it openly now, it is by the time Mrs. Indira Gandhi, then Prime Minister of India, declared on radio that there is a war between the Pakistan and India on 3rd December. We were close to 100 kilometers inside the East Pakistan
Okay.
from all the sides.
Okay.
So there was no question of training anywhere. Like I mentioned to you earlier, our baptism fighting against the Naga insurgents was a great boost to us, boon to us, as a matter of fact. Firing drills, keeping your weapons always clean, next to you only. So all these things, because in Nagaland we used to carry weapon wherever I am going. Moving around in the village, carrying the weapon. Sleeping on my bed, the weapon is to be there.
Okay.
So because then drills are there when you are going on a patrolling. In Nifa, when you used to go for a patrolling, etc., we were in a distance used to be shorter. But in normal training, etc., we have been told that there should be at least 20 to 20 feet minimum, depending upon the look, the conditions, whether it's jungle, mountain. You should see the chap ahead of you clearly. So like that, because then even if somebody ambushes you and fires at you, only fewer casualties were there. If we are close enough to each other, maybe 4-5 feet ka faisla, casualties will be more. So all this baptism physically, practically took place in Nagaland.
Okay.
In the atmosphere of being fired at you.
Okay. So, coming to your first, coming to you, sir, now, how was your first combat experience against the Pakistani forces and where did it happen? Inside Bangladesh, East Pakistan at that time.
East Pakistan, in the first time the Paltan was given a task was at a small town known as Panchagarh.
Panchagarh.
At the Panchagarh.
Okay. Okay.
Now the Panchagarh
It's very close to the
it was
border.
not on
Very
the
close.
it is very close to the border.
Panchgarh.
And there the East Pakistani troops were occupying the Panchagarh sugar mill.
Okay.
There was a sugar mill. So our first task was to clear the sugar mill and establish our base there.
Okay.
But I tell you another thing, Das Gupta Sahib, is it is not, it was not hand to very few places. There was close quarter battle, hand to hand, very close quarter battles, very few places. Most of the places, Pakistani troops withdrew. When they saw we are advancing and the intentions are to occupy them, they definitely fired upon us. But then after that, when we started fighting and going to approaching the places, then they moved out. That means it was not a battle where we fought hand to hand. Very rarely. In a sense, that at least Panchagarh I'll talk to you about. Pockets may they must have fought with us. But otherwise, because they withdrew. They started withdrawing and naturally consolidated some place where they can make a big fight.
Got it.
So there, what happens also, we were 4 rifle companies, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and depending upon the threat perception of the commanding officers and brigadier sahib, because independent infantry mountain brigade, so our commanding officer is to plan whether it should be the company attack or it should be a battalion. When we say company attack, means the other side, it is the less than company strength. So we can overpower them. That's the whole idea. It is not that a whole battalion goes anywhere. There is a place where it is required, then all the companies. So what used to happen, we used to go turn by turn, rotation wise. Okay, Alpha company is attacked on this, then next company will, so that they come back to the Adam area of, we are marching only, but they will come, whatever, suppose there are some casualties, then treatment, ammunition refilling and all that. So it is not key, just I am trying to tell you ki it goes by company to company, and unless there were very fierce fights, if you must have heard the Hilly, etc., there were very big fights. It was almost as high as Brigade has launched the attack. We used to hear from them. 20 Mountain Dew portion was there on the hilly side.
And you must have had artillery support, right, sir? All the time.
Yeah. The best part was the Pakistani Air Force was demolished by the Indian Air Force at the beginning of the operations only.
Okay.
Because we had destroyed the runways badly, so they couldn't take off. And to repair it became problematic for them because of their own not treating the East Pakistanis properly, especially the women folk. Very big atrocities. I will talk to you later on if you're interested. Otherwise, every human being other than Pakistani soldiers were totally against them.
Right.
Totally. So when we entered the villages, very few people were there, at least the initials, I can say 40-50 kilometers. Everybody has ran to the India. They have left their houses open, poor people. But then that is how it was. Whosoever is left, they used to welcome us. Ki, aa jao bhai. Means they welcome you.
Right. Because I think
saviors have come.
I think Bengalis knew that India was providing all the help to their freedom fighters and also providing them weapons, treating the refugees, जहाँ पे पाकिस्तानी उनको मार रहे हैं, of course. So Bengalis were, very happy and welcoming, of course.
Naturally, because what happens is, see any population, they don't have any weapon. Even if tomorrow in any Indian village or city some attacks takes place, what weapon we have got or nothing we have got. We are not trained also. So people look towards anybody who is a trained forces who are friendly to them, friendly to the citizens. So that's what practically happening. We were friendly to them.
Right. Understood. So after Panchagarh, sir,
It is Panchagarh. It is not Panchagarh. It is Panchagarh.
right. After Panchagarh, sir, could you talk a bit about the next objective? What was the next objective for you, sir, and for your unit?
I remember. I don't remember the in between places where we fought, but then I definitely because now over the period of so many years, here, it's more than 50 years.
Right.
So we tend to forget the names, but some prominent names are there. Like we got Khansama
Khansama.
battle honor.
Battle honor. Right.
And Khansama was a battle honor due. So that was a place where we really fought.
Okay.
Means first thing it was a daytime attack. But other places it was a normal, the battle plan attacks means infantry attacks take place in the night.
Right.
After 12 o'clock, etc. So that we are there at the forming a position, and then we climb up and we know the enemy is there. We have recce scared, etc. And then fire. If they can fire back, it's okay. Nato, you go there. Most of them have vacated, but it doesn't happen at Shankhoba, at the Khansama. Khansama, they gave us a real fight. It should be. They were there to save their own country. In those days, it was East Pakistan. But then we overfell them. Big fight took place, and that is where daytime factor. So we also know कि भाई कैसा होता है.
So could you talk a bit about the Battle of Khansama? Like after clearing Saidpur, you must have been moving up towards.
No, not Saidpur. Saidpur is far off.
Far off. Okay.
We haven't reached Saidpur yet.
Okay.
We haven't reached Saidpur yet.
Okay. So
There's, wherever there are obstacles, whichever is the front battalion or the, because there were 4 infantry battalions in the 71 Mountain Brigade.
Okay.
So on a particular axis towards Dinajpur, we were moving. So in between there was Saidpur, all those places were there, and we used to go ahead. Wherever they surrender, wherever there is a fight, then our reserves used to go there. Suppose 7 MLI was there and they were unable to clear and they want some more help, then brigade commanders would take a call and send our troops to them. Well, any battalion which is not taking part in that particular operation. So like that, we moved from place to place. Everybody every day was not taking part in operations. Let me tell you that much also. Because in a given scenario, Pakistani troops never gave us a big fight in a sense कि भाई कुछ भी हो जाए जाएंगे नहीं. We fight till the last man. That never happened there.
Okay.
The best fight which took place was in Khansama. Otherwise, every other place we reached their location. By the time either the injured people were there or they had left, and the normal operations took place. Naturally, we fired at them. Then what happens anywhere is we start early in the morning, and means we are already there in the forming a position. Say about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we charge, go towards the front line of the. They are about 500-600 meters behind us where we are sitting. They are most probably not aware that we are there. That is secrecy we maintain. And then, because by then, by 3:30, 4 o'clock, it is brightening up. Means it is not brightening up like it starts. The darkness of the night is going away.
Right. And I think that
so then
by 5:30 a.m. in the morning.
No, much earlier than that.
No, I'm talking
Much
about
earlier than that.
winter time. By 5
Yeah.
5
Even
days, it happens. Yeah.
because even up to 4:30, you can see. Means if you are there in the open throughout the night, then you can see. Same thing in Nagaland. When we used to be carried out the war games and we are open in the night, you can see clearly. You can make out what is what because your eyes are tuned. Here also your eyes are tuned and little improvement in illumination. That is because of the पाव फटने बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में भाई अभी बारिश वो सूरज आने वाला है इट मे बी 2 hours hence but it is starts taking place dawn starts
Right.
so by then we are up where the enemy locations are
Okay.
so either they should give us a fight so resist us to go there or they fight to an extent and then they whatever the instructions are normally we haven't seen anybody sitting there and fighting till end till we are reached and that only happened in Khansama. Yes, it happened there.
So could you talk a bit about the Battle of Khansama, sir? Like, I would like to know about that. How was the entire operation for the unit and for you?
I can only say that because the task was given to our battalion because there was company plus strength of the Pakistani, if I'm not wrong, Punjab regiment was there. Pakistan. Against us was 23 Pak Infantry Brigade. That is against our 71 Mountain Brigade. There was a 23 Pak Infantry Brigade, and we reached. When the battle started, it was again early in the morning. We had reached them, and we started. It was a daylight. Means when we started everything, it was a daylight, and then we moved from post to post. That means wherever they are located, and our injuries. There were injuries from our side also. You keep firing, taking your men with you, and fire at them, and then they will return the fire definitely. And then you keep fighting. It is there is a at a times you will find there is a gadar explosion. Because fighting is going on everywhere. Suppose there are 100 troops sitting there, they are not sitting together because there are bunkers and then they are spread out and then there are backside also there is reserve troops are there. It's not one night khatam hogi to chale gaye nahi. They are so. Both the side, Pakistan and India, they were basically trained by the Britishers.
Right.
The same army took them. So basic training schedule remains same with them and with us also. Now we must have changed, but otherwise basic remains. So we know कि किस तरह से defense होगा, वो कहाँ बैठे होंगे and all that. So, but that is where the really a fighting took place, and that is where we were able to get their prisoner of wars. बाकी जगह पे बहुत कम मिले थे the injured people, but here we were able to corner them in a big way. So that is how the Battle of because Shankumai was becoming a big obstacle for our march towards Dinajpur. Okay. The 20 mountain due big major target was as Dinajpur via Saidpur. Because Saidpur there was a brigade headquarters, 23 Pak Infantry Brigade.
And I think
so that was of course
Rangpur and then Lalmonirhat to the north, those places.
Yeah. Then of course that never happened.
That never happened.
Because that never happened because our task was 20 mountain dew was to go, if at all, it never happened, up to Dinajpur.
Right.
That's all. So, but the war never took place beyond 13 days. Yeah. 3rd को शुरू हो गया, 16th को खत्म हो गया. They surrendered. So by the time we moved from, if I'm not wrong, an 11th. Before that, the Khansama operation took place, and then we started regrouped ourselves, injured people going here and there, and then we started moving again on the road towards the Saidpur, and then just short of a Saidpur, if I'm not wrong, 14th or 15th morning, uh, our company, which was leading the march, they saw a chap coming on a main road with white chadar. You must have heard about that. A holding a white chadar. So he was shouting. We were not able to hear. Something is happening. So पीछे से हम लोग भी आगे आके बैठे थे, देख रहे थे क्या हो रहा है यार. And then there as he came close, he was saying, "Mat maro, mat maro, mat maro," because he's in the battlefield. Yeah. Some of us might have taken a pop shot, but he was holding a white chadar. He came. He was sweating. It was cold. So उसको पहले comfortably बिठा दिया, उसको चाय पिला दी, पूछा भाई तू है कौन, Who are you? फिर उसने बोला कि सर मैं धोबी हूँ पंजाब रेजिमेंट का. अच्छा. और हमारे सीओ साहब ने बोला है कि हम सब सरेंडर करना चाहते हैं, उसके लिए भेजा है. So that was the first news to us. कि भाई, so then CO साहब came up and then he informed the brigade commander, Brigadier PN Katpalia, to that कि भाई this is what is happening. We have got first news of surrender. Then as per the drill, their officers, our men, some officers moved. Because we don't have place to. So in their barracks, our troops surrounded them. They took their weapons and kept in a quarter guard, and all that blah 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 took place. And the Punjab regiment mess was there. So we went to their mess. Because the officer said कि आ जाओ sir, let us have a breakfast together. So we were अभी तो खत्म हो चुके, they don't have a weapon. So we went there. That was of course lighter part of it. And later on we were really bullied by a senior officer. क्या कर रहे हो यार? They might have played dirty with you, but कुछ नहीं हुआ. I am living in front of you, talking to you. Nothing happened then. But then that's how, I think probably that was the first warm breakfast that we had. But otherwise, in our case also, I'll tell you, that also should be known to people. Every day evening, say about 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, we used to give, the food used to come up in a 1 ton or 3 ton, and then it is distributed. Hot food is distributed. At that particular moment, it must be about 5. Hot food means you will get some dal chawal, bana hai to, nahi to puri and sabji 100%. गर्मा गर्म पूरी और सब्जी मिलेगी, ठीक है, प्याज मिलेगा for salad. That's all. And then they used to give us a packet for next day breakfast come lunch. In that it used to have parathas and sabji. That's the end of it. We used to keep it at the back of our backpack, and that's all. And so food was cold as far as we are concerned. What we used to get it, our troops used to carry the stove. On the stove we used to get a hot cup of tea. Whenever there is a break and we know that we are secured, we can make a cup of tea, warm cup of tea. That's all. So that is how, when they offered us a breakfast, we went there. We had a breakfast. Garma garam breakfast khaya. So this is what actually happened physically on that particular day. And then we started getting the information from brigade headquarters, because CO used to go there and brief the army, the brigade commander, what is happening in our front. And then we got the other information from others also. And then the Brigadier Shafi was the Pakistani Infantry Brigade commander. Brigadier Shafi. Right. So he was the brigade commander.
Pakistani 23 Infantry Brigade commander, right?
Very true. Pakistani 23 Infantry Brigade commander was there. So he requested 1 day's time to Brigadier PN Katpalia to collect his people who were widespread. For the operation point of view, they were widespread. Right. Not that very, very far off, but they may take some time to reach uh, Saidpur, because it was at Saidpur. So we were short of Saidpur, and then we had entered the Saidpur. The mess was there. So in that mess we stayed. Of course, Pakistani officers, etc., were kept separately in the prisoner of war camp sort of thing. They were protected. Of course, they were protected. And then there it was on, I think if I'm not wrong, 17th evening, 4 o'clock at Khansama airport in East Pakistan. The surrender ceremony took place. That was unique thing, because the almost 5,000 plus 23 Pak Infantry Brigade the officers, JCOs and men, they surrendered in front of our troops. It is, it never happened after that. This first time happened after the World War II.
Right.
Because total, if you see the strength which surrender took place across the Indian Army in East Pakistan, was almost 96,000 Pakistanis surrendered. Pakistani troops surrendered. It was a huge experience. The surrender ceremony didn't take place at every place. Wherever there were troops and wherever they had planned, okay, here, and there. So we were lucky that to witness a complete surrender ceremony at 70.
Did you witness it yourself as a second lieutenant?
Yeah, I witnessed myself.
Right.
This surrender ceremony and parade, etc.
Brigadier Katpalia and Brigadier Iqbal Shafi, they were just meeting. I think it was.
Yeah. And I had a photograph. I will send it to you. There, our battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel Aman Singh Alawat, Brigadier PM Katpalia, and Brigadier Shafi. Three of them were discussing something. That was the time I took I had carried a camera. So whenever I used to get opportunity, that means naturally, I can't camera when shooting is taking place, etc. I would have been taken a pop shot and I would have killed. So, but wherever there's opportunity, when people are sitting quietly, so I used to take the snaps. I'll share the snaps with you. Any place, any war, over a period of time now, that type of a young officer is a total learning stage. But if the internally the local population is not with you, you cannot win the battle. It is just not possible.
Right.
So that is why they lost the East Pakistani troops. For years together, the Pakistanis were, the Bangladeshis there, or the East Pakistani citizens were really harassed or badly treated. As a second-class citizens, they were treated. When we spoke to them, you must hear them. It was really bad. Whereas after the surrender, when we were there talking to those people, civilians at least, and some of the Mukti Bahini officers, because by then Mukti Bahini had surrendered, had taking place, bringing the people from it. What was Mukti Bahini's role was not only to support us, but at least also ensure that POWs are not harmed. Because then it's a Geneva Convention rules. We cannot kill them. Once he has surrendered, he is surrendered. But Mukti Bahini was key. They used to tell us, sir, inko hamare liye bhej do. Because they had harassed us enough. But that we cannot do. Because he has surrendered to the Indian Army. Mukti Bahini is not a part of Indian Army. So I can't give them, though they were interested. But they used to give us enough security information. Where are the troops? How many are there? How they are protecting in the area? We used to get
intelligence reports.
That was definitely a big boost. Pardon?
Intelligence report, I guess.
Yeah, intelligence report from our security point of view. We used to get intelligence report from them. Because we were in enemy territory and they are part of that particular territory. So they know better.
Right.
So, कौन कहाँ है, क्या है, कुछ नहीं है करके, like that.
Okay.
And they used to punish. We had seen when we entered the places, small towns, etc. People used to be hanged And then Mukti Bahini people used to tell us, "Ki sir, they are the traitors. They used to they used to tell where we are or which house these people have gone as a Mukti Bahini. So our parents, our families used to be troubled by these people.
They were
They never realized.
collaborators.
Pardon?
They were, I think,
Collaborators. Yeah, they were not Razakars. Razakars was a different ballgame. But these were, I wanted that I must get a protection from the Pakistani army.
Right.
So how can I give his soft corner? I tell him, साहब वहाँ पे लोग बैठे हैं, वहाँ पे लोग बैठे हैं, इसके घर से वो आदमी चला गया है और ट्रेनिंग एज अ मुक्ति वाहिनी. So then they will say, ठीक है यार, इनके घर को तकलीफ मत दे दो. Because the ladies were really atrocities, were horrible atrocities. You can never hear them. Even if you hear them, they are very bad.
Right.
So that is how basically, the Pakistani, and they were scared, shit scared. When the surrender time came, they were scared not to go to near the Mukti Bahini, etc., or the local population. Somebody will take a pop shot at them, or somebody will इकट्ठा होके मार देंगे उनको पत्थर से. They were so, you can imagine if my daughter or my sister or my wife is being atrocities conducted, I'll do whatever thing is possible to me to kill those people.
Yeah.
That is absolutely normal. It's absolutely normal. Nothing. But then we can't. We are bound by the Geneva Convention, and then he has surrendered to us. So that's how the 96,000 people were then sent to Indian prisoner of war camps.
So after the war ended,
the experience is day by day. What happens is rather difficult, because those things are such which are happening there on the ground. It's a great experience. Any whether it's a Jawan, and as a second lieutenant in the less than 2 years of service, we had seen the worst of the worst of the or facing the insurgency, taking part in counter-insurgency in Nagaland, taking part in Nifa jungles, and then the Bangladesh war. That is Pakistan war, Bangladesh Liberation War.
I had another question, sir. After the war, what was your duty as a second lieutenant? Were you given any task of handling prisoners?
No, duties remain same.
Okay.
We were to hand over the prisoners of war to prisoner of war camp in India.
Okay.
The separate troops took over them, and we moved to Barakpur in Calcutta. In a peace location in Calcutta. Okay. The prisoner of war duties were taken over by some other regiments which came from the mainland India, and then they took charge of them.
Okay.
By then it was decided where they will be placed, which school, which college, or which some other camp, etc. That has to be seen. Not before we started moving out of the East Pakistan. This drill was completed by the Indian Army with the local population in Bengal, and there the troops had moved. Our duty stopped. Handing over the prisoner of war to them, and then we moved to Barakpur. And we were there in Barakpur almost till, at least I was there with them till 72 September. And in 72 September, I received my transfer to EME, Technical Corps, Electrical Mechanical Engineers. So from there, I moved to their location.
So now joining the EME, I guess, sir. So how was the rest of your military career in the EME? Like, this was your battle experience, combat experience.
Only thing is, no. Even in battlefields, there are EME people, there are ASC people, everybody's role is there.
Right.
Because they have to carry out the weapons repairs, vehicle repairs. Who's going to do? It's not going to go to Siliguri. We have got something known as echelon of repairs.
Right.
Something at the battlefield itself.
Okay.
Slightly come back and then repair is carried out. So everybody has a role to play. Whether it's a EAB, whether it's a AMC, whether it's a ASC, supply wale ho, ordnance wale ho. Everybody, the engineers are there, signals are there. Their role is earmarked in the battles itself. For the better communication, signals has to play a role. Otherwise, there won't be any communications. So everybody's role is there. So we carry out peace station means we are trained. Then the number of meetings took place later on, where your experience, what we call it as lessons learned programs. Where we were, where were the shortcomings, etc. So that next time something like this happens, we should be prepared to face it better way. It happens. Why not? We are human beings. Some mistakes do get done.
So how was the rest of your career in the armed forces, sir? Could you talk a bit about that in brief?
The rest of the careers, like I would have been infantry, my role would have been different. I'm in EME, the technical place. So I was trained on different equipment. I was trained on a tank. So I became a vehicle. It's called a vehicle. They're called tank specialist, you can say. So I was mostly posted in the areas near the armored divisions, armored brigades, etc. So it depends, what is their speciality. So then we are able to contribute to the army.
Like armored corps ke support mein, of course.
Yeah, armored corps is they operate the tanks in the battle. So we have to ensure that during the operations the tanks are fighting fit.
So could you talk a bit about the workshop or the units that you commanded, sir? A bit about it.
Yeah. Workshops, the like I mentioned to you about echelon of repairs. So the initial echelon, the first echelon is at the battalion site itself. At the infantry battalion, artillery regiment, etc. There are few people, few vehicle mechanics, few electricians are there to repair the vehicles, minor repairs, and the vehicle joins the again the formation or the battle operation, etc. Similarly, for arms, there are armorers from the EME. They are placed there, one armorer, two armorer, depending upon the number of equipment they have got, and they carry out the initial whatever is the what we call it, chalta rukta. Weapon is like that. Usko ठीक करो फटाफट हो जाता है. We have been trained. So every variety, whether it's there are as you grow up, the army technology changes. We have got rockets, we have got radars, different type of weapons, whether it's MMG or rocket launchers. So our people are trained accordingly. We have got EME school for training, then colleges there for training, where the workshops are there, where all equipment, you are trained on all the equipment in different types of repairs. So what sort of a repair can be carried out there?
Okay, and did you, what I can say, did you serve as an instructor in any of these institutions, sir?
I was a qualified instructor in various number of courses, but I never went posted as an instructor to the one of the technical institutions. No, okay. I was not posted.
And as far as I know, sir, you have been contributing your second innings to what I can say, environment-friendly activity. And I am not saying it, but I want you to say it, sir, a bit about it. Could you talk a bit about that part of your life which has, what I can say, contributed much to the environment?
After the retirement in 2002, I settled down in Pune and purchased a flat in Pune. And I was there. It was a comparatively new society, and there was a problem, and they made me a chairman of the society. And then I found the number of tankers used to come every day. 3 tankers used to come because water supply was less, and we had to pay huge amount of money for that. So I thought, little bit I have seen in Rajasthan, people were doing the rainwater harvesting. At least I have heard about that. And it's very cursory, I have seen some of the houses where it has been implemented. Different methods they follow. But then I decided, then I had checked up in the Maharashtra in those days and in Pune. Nobody had done rainwater harvesting. So I kaise karenge? Then what I did was, let us try it out. So I convinced the committee people. They said, ठीक है करना साहब, आप बोल रहे हो तो. Then I trained a team of the civilians. I knew somebody who was a technical chap, ITI chap, and then we decided, amongst ourselves, I told him what is normally done, how the water is collected from the rooftop, and then how it is brought down, and then how the groundwater through borewell or through open well it is recharged, and there is a filter. There is a filter in between. Now filter was in those days. Now it is readily available. For last 10 years we are getting it in the market also. So I had to design that filter also.
Okay.
So whatever I have heard about the sand type of filters, sand filters. So I designed, basically copied it that, and then did it here. And then we fitted it just prior to rains in 2003. Started work in the early June, and then it finished by the end of June. And the first rain came, and then earlier we used to do, even during the rainy season, we used to buy the tanker water. It was so bad. So, but from that time onwards, people saw the remarkable change. No tankers came. Our water table was down at 225 feet. So here, and our rooftop used to yield 12,000 square feet of rooftop, 750 millimeters of annual average rainfall in Pune, used to yield 9 lakh liters of water per year. It used to receive on rooftop. And that we used to channelize into our borewell. So today, at 10 feet, the water table has risen to 10 feet. And even if you pump out the water 14 hours, 16 hours, no change takes place, and we are very happy. So with that, I started, if I can be benefited and if I can do it, a common person like you are also common man, I am also common man. I am not something great, not trained on rainwater harvesting, not a geologist by profession. I am a Fauji by profession at the most. So, and I did that, and then that's how my journey still started, still going on. Now I am almost 77, and then it is going on very well. And a lot of people we have helped, more than 130 villages we have made them self-sufficient in water, and more than 650 projects in urban areas, cities, municipal corporation buildings, industry buildings, some cantonment buildings. So different places wherever they wanted our help. So we had gone there and helped them. So in that way we have done a wonderful, that is, it gives an immense satisfaction to me at least. That is, I'm able to raise the groundwater table. If you go to the villages in your area also, Calcutta is also facing a water problem. I know that. I have to check it up on the Google, etc. Even if you go to the village, the maximum time who has to face problem is the ladies. They used to bring water from, fetch the water from, yeah, from 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, depend where is the location. So when I used to speak to them, they used to say, "Ki Baba, 6 months, 7 months, every joint of our body pains." Is sad part. Even at this age of after the independence, we are not able to provide them proper water yet. That's okay. I'm not going into those details at all. But then when we provided the water, people used to say, when I used to go after that area, after some time, maybe after a year and a half, or speak to them on telephone, they used to say, at least ladies would say, "Baba, आपने इतना अच्छा काम किया है, हमारा पिछले 1.5-2 साल से हमने पानी कभी लाया नहीं उठा के, अभी हमारे घर में हमारा बोर का ही पानी मिलता है हमको पूरा साल भर." So that gives immense satisfaction, Rajput sir. Definitely it gives immense satisfaction. You are contributing something towards the nature and towards the people who are hard pressed for that.
Right.
That is in short, that's what I can tell you.
And that is a, what I can say, very good contribution to society that you are making, sir, at this age.
Yeah, if you know, that makes me, as a matter of fact, if you look at it, that makes us stronger in the sense that you feel good at the end of the day when you are sleeping. You feel satisfied. यार उनके पास हो क्या है, उनका काम कर दिया, they are happy. Then we do the follow up and then they used to say कि सर पानी की कोई समस्या नहीं है. So that the one things which should have been done by the local body governments, which they are not doing it. Reasons best known to them. I am not going into those details at all. But then, if we are able to do, and not like me, all over India, there are a number of people like us who are doing in their own way to help the people clean the rivers, clean the nalas and water bodies, and make it clean, carry more water, etc. So, but they are doing, But if they are helped, means by the local body governments, they will be much better. People will now. It's how much? Hardly 80 crore people are provided with the free food by the government of India, and 60 crore people, if I'm not, I may be the figure may be here and there, they do not have access to safe drinking water even today in India. So it is a doable, economical and simple thing because I had done it on the ground. So I know that this is not a rocket technology where one has to go to college or some other exclusive institution, get trained. No. If I could do it, you can do it. Yeah. I tell people, and wherever we go, we train people. In a sense, ऐसा करो, हमारे से करो, आप लोग भी करो. They should do it and then हो गया तेरा काम. Your training क्या चाहिए और? So, and then whatever questions they have got, we used to clarify them and do some follow up with them, and then they are good at. We can't go there everywhere, But we used to train them and then carry on with them.
That's a lovely thing, sir. It's a lovely thing you are doing.
The basic advantage you get from the serving in defense forces is, first thing is a discipline. Then secondly, any issue, any problem, go into the minutest details. And once that problem is resolved, don't leave that problem high and dry. So that definitely, the 32 years of my service in the defense forces has definitely helped me. And that is how I am really definitely feel proud to be a part of the best organization in the world, Indian Army, which trained me, and then I contributed there also, and that is helping me to carry out whatever I am doing now today in for my motherland.
It's a lovely talking to you, sir, and I hope to meet you someday and learn a bit more about this part of your life. And thank you again, sir, for your
Anytime,
services.
whenever you come to Pune, be our guest. I will take you around. Chalo, thank you, Das Gupta sahab. Thank you very much.
Sir.
God bless you. You have given this old man enough time to listen to me, whatever I had done in my
आपने
life,
जो
little
सब
bit.
किया है for the
And
liberation of Bangladesh and for the Indian Army, that is something that should go on record. So that is a small prayas from my side to do this.
we are honored. I am definitely honored for this. And as and when your whatever you write or films are ready, do share it with us so that I can share it with my friends.
Okay.
Thanks. Nice meeting you, Das Gupta sahab.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you. Keep doing a wonderful job.
I will.
And
And if you can, please send those photographs, sir. Thank you, sir.
yeah, I will send it after some time today. Huh? Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
God bless.
Thank you for whatever
Okay.
you did again in 71.
Thank you, sir. God bless.